look like we got anyone coming. We should be okay here. You can see the driver of this truck, it looks like he may have even had to kick out the windshield to get out after it had flipped over. As we were coming up I-25, once we got past Academy, we saw a couple overturned semis, and then my photographer was like, there's another one, and we got to this stretch here. It's literally like a quarter mile, and we've counted 5 of them. I just did a little bit of a calculation on Google. I found out that this is about 1.2 million square miles of thick smoke that's pretty much across the entirety of the western United States, covering some 14 states. And there have been a couple slick spots here and there. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But I-25, someone just cooked some Pop-Tarts, didn't they? We're having Pop-Tarts this morning here, and it smells really good. I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. As it gets over that warm water of the central Gulf of Mexico, this thing is really going to start to pump, and we're going to be talking about this storm probably becoming a major hurricane. That's Category 3 or greater as it approaches the southern Louisiana coast. Edge brownies or the center of the brownies?
That's a good one.
Easy edge.
Edge?
Really?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I was going center. The gooier the brownie, the better, in my
You've
opinion.
got a 50-50 split, it seems. But this division acts kind of like a brick wall, keeping the windier conditions higher up in the sky. And like clockwork, once the sun starts to rise again and begins heating up the Earth's surface, the atmosphere begins to turn back over, and the warm stuff undercuts the cool stuff, allowing those winds aloft to sink back closer towards the ground. And why calm weather at 5 a.m. may need to be monitored closely for those balloons, because it may be a bit of a different story by the time the sun rises to mix things back up. September, October, where we could be talking about, snow making it back into the forecast. So we're gonna be savoring these nice little drive times that we have right now. It could be changing here in the next month or so.
Pretty foggy this morning, Luke.
Yeah, especially across northern. Oh my goodness.
Try again.
Wow. Especially across northern El Paso County. I think I'll be able to get through this weather hit. I don't know, a little bit of. I'm going to grab some water real quick. I'm going to step off camera. Excuse me, folks.
Do you want us to kill time for you, or
no,
we
we're
can
good.
talk?
27 degrees at Banning Lewis Ranch. I'll promise I'll get through this weather hit.
Here's meteorologist Luke Victor.
Well, it's going to be an interesting day of weather across southern Colorado, as Danielle was just mentioning earlier before. We're going to be topping out around 50 or so degrees around 2 or 3 o'clock for Colorado Springs. Mid to upper 50s can be expected for Pueblo, and probably even a couple 60s over the southeast plains along Highway 50. But then the cold front comes through and those temperatures come crashing down very quickly. We're already down to 23 in Colorado Springs by 10 o'clock, into the teens for Monument, and temperatures into the 20s across the southeast plains as that snow starts to build in. Once we get past 10 or so o'clock, I think the accumulating stuff starts to get going right around the ball drop this evening. So as we're ringing in the new year, finally seeing some accumulating snowfall across the Colorado Springs metro area, down through Pueblo and out over the southeast plains. And it's really going to be these drop in temperatures, the rapid drop in temperatures, that as that snow initially falls, it may melt on the pavement, but then it's going to quickly refreeze. And we could be talking about a flash freeze situation, which could lead to ice under the snow that falls through the overnight hours. That's what's going to make the travel so tricky as we head into the overnight. A lot of folks on Facebook have been saying, 1 to 3 inches is not going to be really that much. Folks, I'm telling you right now that it could be pretty treacherous as you're getting out the door early tomorrow morning. 5 or 6 o'clock, dealing with temperatures that continue to be into the teens and 20s across a good portion of the area, and continuing to see that snowfall through 10 or 11 o'clock. And that's likely going to last as we get into about 2 or 3 before we start to clear things out. And we might even be able to see a little bit of sunshine later tomorrow afternoon. Unfortunately, we don't see any improvement in those temperatures, and we're probably going to deal with slick roadways for a good portion of the day into tomorrow. Here's that snowfall potential. Again, it's really not all that much, but the rapid drop in temperatures could lead to some ice that kind of forms under the snow, and any additional snow that falls on top of it is going to make it tough to travel on those roadways. We're talking 2 to 5 inches of snow in northern El Paso County. As you get up into Teller County, could be as high as 3 to 6 inches of snow. And further out to the east, we're probably going to be seeing some downsloping winds that eat into some of the snow totals as you make your way east of the I-25 corridor. We're thinking 1 to 3 inches for Colorado Springs proper. Down along Highway 50, 1 to 3 inches of snow, not out of the question for Pueblo, and out over the eastern plains, probably seeing anywhere between about 1 to 4 inches as well. Not too much snow to deal with, as we were mentioning, but it's going to be those cold temperatures and those slick roadways that are going to make this kind of a problem. And I think the worst of the travel is going to be anywhere between about midnight and 6 a.m. early tomorrow morning. So if you can stay in to the places where you're going to be celebrating the New Year's into this evening, I'd suggest you do so. It's probably just going to be way easier than trying to navigate those nasty road conditions overnight tonight and into Saturday morning. Quickly recover, though. We're back into the 40s and 50s as we head into next week for Colorado Springs, and everyone doing the same old song and dance. A massive drop in temperatures as we get into the evening hours, and Saturday with much milder air making a return into early next week.